Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This video, we are looking at the Draftkings and Fanduel picks for Wednesday, January the 25th. We have a nice 10-game slate today. So let's get started. Yesterday, hope you guys had a good night. Posted the updates on Twitter. So check for that later today as well. You can check out the website if you want to join us, dfsprocess.net, Twitter for updates at the DFS process. And let's get started. So point guard props, you got a lot of guys at the top end above 9K. Curry's leading the way at 10-5, going up against the Grizzlies. Should be a great game. We know these two teams are not fond of each other. They have the rivalry, especially Klay Thompson's been kind of leading it for the Warriors, and Dylan Brooks is looking to pick fights with anyone. So you'll probably see some high scoring, maybe some fireworks in that game. Mind Curry, but there's some other cheaper options that you can look to. The same game, you can go down to Ja Morant, who's been pretty steady all year. The games that he's played. He sat out last game, so he had those extra days off. He's been good against the Warriors. Put up 57 in the first meeting. Played 41 minutes. Might have been an OT game, but nonetheless, he looks good today. The first guy I'm looking at, though, is a value piece. Played him last night. Came through. Going to go right back to him, and that's TJ McConnell. Put him in the starting lineup. He played 40 minutes, 41 minutes. Continues to just play really well without Halliburton there. He had a triple-double the other day against Phoenix. Wonder what the odds would have been on that. But he just continues to do his job, score, facilitate, which is he's best for. He can be a knack on defensive end with some steals. And if he runs into some rebounds, that's great. The matchup is excellent against Orlando. You got to start with him if you're looking for a value. Over at shooting guard, your top end here is Edwards, almost 10K. Yeah, I like Murray at 82 going up against the Thunder. He got off to a great start and then just had 5 points in the second half, 0 points scored in the fourth quarter. He definitely left some fantasy points on the table last game. Value-wise, I like Gary Trent at 67. You can go to Jalen Green without Kevin Porter there. Anunoby should be back, but still like Trent. That game should be super high scoring. Another pacer that you can look to is Buddy Hield, who's going to shoot a lot. Even though he only made 5 shots last game, he still gave you over 45 fantasy points because of his crazy game with the defensive stats. Had 3 blocks and 4 steals against the Bulls. Should be able to get some defensive stats tonight against the Magic, but you should also hit more of his shots than 36%. He's well over 40% from 3 this year, 42%, and almost 45% from the floor. Assuming that, Halliburton should be out again. And then Nembhard missed last game. He could also miss today, which would open up more production for Hield and also open up more stuff for Benedict Mathurin. Small forward, LeBron James played yesterday. We'll see if he plays on a back-to-back today. He was excellent last night after being questionable. Even though they got blown out by the Clippers, he did his job. Looks like Anthony Davis will be back today, so maybe they decide to keep LeBron out. They probably don't need both Davis and LeBron. Davis should be on a limit, but against the Spurs at least. We're not sure, so we'll see what happens throughout later in the day. Other options would be going to like Banchero at 7,000. You have Gary Trent at 67. You have some guys in the low 6K range like Tobias. Harrison Barnes has been playing well, 57. There's one cheap guy that his price tag is really fair, and it's Dylan Brooks at 48. Going up against the Warriors, he's going to be up for this game. He's not the best shooter at all, but he'll give you good minutes in close games. Well, at least 30, and then in close games he can play like 32 to 35, depending on if he's not in foul trouble. He should be locked in on one of the shooters on the Warriors, probably Curry. Also can play against Jordan Poole and maybe even Klay Thompson. The price tag is just what's the most attractive piece right now for a guy that can give you a good fantasy game if he starts hitting some shots and runs into some defensive stats. A power forward on the other side, another value piece at 6K. Also, Ben Simmons against Embiid tonight will be must-watch TV. First time they played each other, with them both being healthy. So that'll be super fun to watch in Philly. I don't know, maybe Simmons has his back act up again today. But I'm going Draymond Green on the other side. He's cheap. His price tag is below 65, which you'd like to see. He's been good in his last few games, and it's not really a coincidence that he's starting to produce. Now that Curry's back, it opens up a lot more for Draymond. He just dumps it to Curry, gets easy assists there, he gets rebounds, dumps it off to Curry, takes it up the court. So he's even been hitting some shots, which is a welcome sight if you're a Warriors fan. I gotta like him. Even though he made one field goal against the Grizzlies earlier this year, he gave you 46 fantasy points with a 13-13 line, rebounds, and assists. Only Draymond would miss a triple-double because he can't score. That's the fourth prop. And then the final prop is a value piece, and I'm looking at Tillman from the Grizz today, mainly because Adams is out for 3 to 5 weeks. He played 30 minutes, surprisingly, after not playing the last few games. But if they're going to start with Tillman, you got to like him. If they start with Vernon Clark today, then you can go to Clark. But 32 if he's in the starting lineup, great value piece. Can't really pass that. So that's what I got on DraftKings. Let's talk about FanDuel. All right, on FanDuel, I'm going to stick with a pretty similar build, starting with the point guard pick, going down to TJ McConnell at 67. You got some good guys in the 8K range here, like Fox, and especially Fox. And then you have Fred VanVleet, pretty affordable too. It's at 9K, better on DraftKings, but still looks decent. And then we'll look at the Jokic news if he's going to play. However, I'm looking back to going to TJ McConnell at 67. He's cheap. You have other guys here. If LeBron sits, you can go to Schroeder. You have Russell at a good price tag. Shooting guard. Speaking of Russell, I'm going to put him in. It's a good price tag. He's been playing better recently. The matchup isn't terrible. We'll see if he was doubtful last game was Ingram. We'll see if he's able to be back today. He's missed so much time. And I still like Hield as a good value piece. Small forward. If you want to pay up for Giannis, you can. It's not the easiest spot, but at least they're at home against Denver. It's defense. Not looking at Scotty Barnes, not looking at Gary Trent. The price tags are a little bit too expensive for me. Going back to Buddy Hield at 65, just like the matchup. If he continues to stay hot with the defensive stats, then it will be really appealing because he should hit some more shots against Orlando's defense today. And if there is no Nembhard, more shots to go around. Power forward, I like Siakam here at 94. As a good pay-up. Its matchup is excellent against the fast-paced team in the league and the Kings. They should see a lot of scoring. We know Nick Nurse plays these guys monster minutes and plays them over 40 minutes in a close game tonight against the Kings. You should see a lot of good fantasy points from all these guys. And then last but not least, I'm putting Tillman in right now at center because he's still pretty affordable on FanDuel at 46. He's point guard or power forward and center eligible, so you can put him in at the 4 if you find somebody else you like at the 5, like Jokic there. Sengun's been playing better. He's 84 though, and then we'll see if like some of these guys get ruled out. However, I'm just putting in him, Tillman, for right now. If Clark ends up starting, you can go to him instead at 49. Probably won't see like 30 minutes today, just with the Warriors like to play small at times, but probably see at least mid-20s, matching up with Looney's minutes a little bit. But that's what I got today for DraftKings FanDuel. I'm sure we'll see some updates with how many games there are. It's on Twitter later in the day. Best of luck, and I will catch you all next time.